Hey everyone, Neil deGrasse Tyson here. Have you ever stopped to think about how much we rely on plastic? It's everywhere. Your phone, your computer, even parts of the chair you're sitting on. But what if, in a cosmic blink of an eye, all the plastic on Earth just vanished? Poof, sounds like something out of science fiction, right? Well, today we're diving into that very scenario. We'll explore the immediate chaos, the surprising benefits, and the long-term challenges of a world suddenly free of plastic. Let's start with the bad news first. Imagine hospitals without plastic. No IV bags, syringes, catheters, or those thin, flexible tubes snaking through medical equipment. Surgeries would become exponentially more difficult, if not impossible. Blood transfusions, forget about it. Prosthetics, implants, even simple things like gloves and bandages, all gone. The immediate impact on healthcare would be catastrophic. We're talking about a global medical crisis of unprecedented scale. And it doesn't stop there. Our transportation systems would grind to a halt. Cars rely on plastic for dashboards, interiors, bumpers, you name it. Airplanes use lightweight, durable plastics for fuel lines, seating and insulation. Even trains depend on plastic components for efficiency and safety. Without plastic, our ability to travel long distances would be severely limited. Global trade would plummet and supply chains would collapse. Remember those images of empty grocery store shelves during the pandemic? This would be far, far worse. Now let's talk about your phone. Gone. Your laptop. History. See, those sleek devices we rely on are chock full of plastic components, from the casing to the circuit boards. Plastic is essential for modern electronics, and it's not just personal devices. The internet itself relies on miles and miles of fiber optic cables, often sheathed in, you guessed it, plastic. A world without plastic is a world without the internet as we know it. Communication networks would crumble, and our digitally connected world would go dark. Remember that convenience of grabbing a yogurt container from the fridge or a bag of pre-washed salad? Without plastic, food packaging and preservation as we know it would cease to exist. Food would spoil faster, leading to widespread shortages and skyrocketing prices. The environmental impact of food waste would be dwarfed by the sheer volume of spoiled produce, meat and dairy. We'd be forced to return to older, less efficient methods of food storage like canning and salting, but even those have their limits. Here's something you might not have considered. Space exploration would take a major hit. Satellites, spacecraft, and even the suits astronauts wear rely on lightweight, durable plastics. Plastic's ability to withstand extreme temperatures and pressures makes it invaluable for space travel. Without it, our ability to explore the cosmos would be severely hampered. And it's not just space. Military equipment, from helmets to aircraft components, relies heavily on plastic. A sudden disappearance would have significant implications for national security around the world. Okay, so far it's been pretty bleak, right? But here's the silver lining. The environment would finally catch a break. Imagine oceans without those massive garbage patches, beaches free of plastic debris, and landfills no longer overflowing with non-biodegradable waste. Marine life would flourish in a plastic-free environment, and ecosystems would begin to heal. The planet would be well on its way to recovery from the scourge of plastic pollution. And it's not just the planet that would benefit. Remember those microscopic plastic particles, the microplastics that are now found everywhere, from the water we drink to the air we breathe. They'd be gone, potentially reducing long-term health risks for humans. We're still learning about the full extent of microplastic contamination, but early research suggests links to hormonal disruptions, reproductive issues, and even some cancers. A plastic-free world could mean a healthier future for humanity. Necessity is the mother of invention, right? The sudden disappearance of plastic would force industries to innovate at an unprecedented pace. We'd see a surge in the development and adoption of sustainable alternatives. Biodegradable plastics made from plant-based materials, glass, metal, and even innovative new materials we haven't even thought of yet would become the new norm. This global crisis could spark a new era of environmental consciousness and technological advancement. Let's talk about landfills for a moment. Those mountains of garbage filled with plastic that takes centuries to decompose would begin to shrink. The environmental impact of landfill expansion, from groundwater contamination to methane gas emissions, would be significantly reduced. We'd be forced to confront our waste generation habits and find more sustainable ways to manage our trash. This could lead to a more circular economy, where waste is seen as a resource rather than a problem. But here's the catch. All this change wouldn't come cheap. Glass, metal and paper replacements for plastic often require more energy and resources to produce. This could lead to higher costs for consumers, at least in the short term. The transition to a plastic-free world would require significant investment in research, infrastructure and public education. It would be a massive undertaking, but the potential benefits for the planet and human health might just outweigh the costs. So there you have it. The disappearance of plastic would be a double-edged sword, a chaotic mix of disaster and opportunity. We've built our modern world on the convenience and versatility of plastic, but at what cost? The real solution isn't wishing for plastic to magically disappear overnight. It's about being more responsible with our consumption habits, developing sustainable alternatives, and finding ways to manage plastic waste effectively.